That's a really insightful question that gets to the heart of a lot of human struggles. The idea of expecting our expectations to be met is a complex one, and as you rightly point out, it can be a significant source of inner disharmony. Let's break down why this is the case and explore some alternative perspectives. The problem with unwavering expectations: attachment to outcome. When we are rigidly attached to a specific outcome, our well-being becomes conditional on that outcome. If things don't go according to plan, we experience disappointment, frustration, or even anger. This is a direct path to suffering. Lack of control. We often have expectations about things we can't control: how other people will act, the weather, economic conditions, etc. Expecting these things to align with our desires is a recipe for chronic dissatisfaction, the gap of reality. Inner harmony is often disrupted by the gap between our expectations, how we think things should be, and reality, how things are. The wider this gap, the greater the friction and internal conflict. Missed opportunities. When we are focused on how things should be, we can miss the beauty and opportunity in how they actually are. We might be so busy lamenting a perceived failure that we don't notice a new door opening. The value of hope versus the harm of expectation. It's helpful to distinguish between hope and expectation. Hope. Hope is a positive orientation toward the future. It's about wanting a positive outcome and working toward it, but it's not a rigid demand. Hope is flexible. It can adapt if circumstances change. It allows for disappointment without a complete breakdown. Expectation. Expectation is a rigid belief that a certain outcome must happen. It's a demand placed on the universe, other people, or ourselves. When it's not met, the emotional response is often much more intense and disruptive. An alternative approach: acceptance and non-attachment. Many philosophical and spiritual traditions, particularly those from the East like Buddhism and Stoicism, have long addressed this very issue. They propose an alternative that aligns with your intuition about inner harmony. 1. Cultivate non-attachment. This doesn't mean you don't care about anything. It means you release the rigid grip on a specific outcome. You do your best, you set intentions, but you let go of the need for things to be a certain way. This allows you to navigate life with more grace and resilience. 2. Focus on what you can control. The Stoics teach that our peace comes from focusing our energy on our own thoughts, actions, and character, not on external events. We can't control the outcome of a job interview, but we can control our preparation, our attitude, and how we react to the results. 3. Embrace reality. True inner harmony comes from accepting reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. This doesn't mean you have to like a negative situation, but you accept its existence. From that place of acceptance, you can then respond constructively. 4. Shift from expectations to intentions. Instead of saying, "I expect this to happen," you can say, "My intention is to do X, and I'll see what unfolds." This subtle change in language reframes the situation from a demand to a guided effort, which is much more conducive to inner peace. Conclusion? You're absolutely right. Unwavering expectation is a major impediment to inner harmony. It creates a constant state of tension and resistance against the flow of life. The path to well-being is not about eliminating goals or aspirations, but about changing our relationship to them. It's about moving from a rigid demand for a specific outcome to a flexible, accepting, and intentional engagement with the world as it is. By doing so, we can find a more stable and resilient form of happiness that isn't dependent on external validation or predictable results.